The following clip is a Korean conversation scene from the Marvel movie Black Panther. Take a look.
소피야, 주마.
이 두 명은 누구야?
좋은 분들이에요.
사고치기 좋아하는 애라고. 너같이?
This scene instantly became really famous in Korea and it left a huge impression on many Korean people, including myself. Let me explain why and what I think of it as a Korean teacher. My name is Hyunwoo Sun and you're watching Talk to Me in Korean. The Marvel franchise has seen a lot of success in the Korean market over the years. Apart from the US, Korea is among the top 5 countries in box office revenue, and this is really a high number considering Korea's relatively small population compared to countries like China, Mexico, and Brazil. So maybe for that reason, Marvel has taken special care to please Korean audiences, featuring Seoul in the 2015 movie Avengers: Age of Ultron, and then again featuring another Korean city, Busan, in their 2018 movie Black Panther, which we're talking about in this video. And naturally, Korean people, Korean fans were very excited to hear about it and then to actually see Busan in the action blockbuster.
Korea just gave me a new nickname.
Busan Panther.
Aren't Korean fans the best? Busan?
Now, in case you didn't already know, Busan is the second biggest city in South Korea with about 3.2 million residents, located around 400 kilometers away from Seoul. It's right next to the sea, so it's a popular travel destination for Koreans, especially in the summer. And it's got that big seaside metropolitan city atmosphere with skyscrapers looking over the beach. The Korean dialect spoken there can sound a little rough at first to the untrained ear, but people there are actually quite nice, and it's a vibrant and energetic city with a lot to offer. So on your next trip to Korea, I definitely recommend that you spend some time there. So summer vacation destination, big city next to the sea, vibrant city with a distinctive dialect spoken by locals. Those are usually the images that Korean movie makers typically try to paint in the viewer's head when Busan is used as a backdrop. The Black Panther team, I think, also tried to do the same. Although the city's scenery is mostly shown between the fast-paced nighttime car chases and fight scenes, it painted, in my opinion, a pretty accurate picture of what Busan is like. And for Korean people, it was incredible to see such familiar places and familiar signs and store types in a Hollywood movie. But the dialect, let me tell you more about it in a second. Now, one famous tourist destination that was featured a little more in detail was 자갈치 시장, 자갈치 market. It's a famous seafood market in Busan. And the word 자갈 here means pebble or gravel, and it's called 자갈치 market because it was built in a place with lots of gravel. Now, the reason that this particular scene was really interesting to Korean viewers is that the image of 자갈치 market is a bustling, down-to-earth marketplace for normal citizens. But in the movie, it's actually hiding a secret high-end casino underneath where people from all over the world come for gambling or underground deals. So that felt like a very fresh and unexpected twist for Korean audiences. And on top of that, the woman selling fish turns out to be in charge of letting people into the casino, which made the scene even more fun and surprising. When she greets the Black Panther crew, the way the woman seemed a bit cold at first, but then gave a knowing smile and let them go inside, that really did feel like a typical Busan fish market lady to me. The outfit, the setup, everything was spot on until we had this scene in question. Let's watch it again here.
소피야, 주마. 얼굴 보니 좋네요.
이 두 명은 누구야?
나이로 비해서는 친구들이 부자예요. 좋은 분들이에요.
사고치기 좋아하는 애라고. 너같이?
Black Panther doesn't say anything here, and it's Nakia who knows Korean and speaks to the market lady. What's really interesting is that many people found Nakia's Korean pronunciation way easier to understand than the Korean lady's Korean. Here are some fun reactions we found online. The lines are in Korean, but I understood them by reading the English subtitles. And another person said this: she talks like she's never spoken Korean before, but her outfit is 100% the same as my grandmother who sells octopus at the market. And here's one more. It says, The actress in green spoke better Korean, and that's the problem. Marvel could have just played it easy and made everybody's job easier by saying, oh, okay, this lady, this character just speaks English too. Of course, it's an international casino, right? But they did try to incorporate the Korean language, so I think it's really great. But if you are going to use the local language, you need to do it really well, really, really well. So as a Korean teacher, I'm going to explain some parts that could have been better, but to be completely honest with you, I think if the actress for the market lady, the Korean lady role, her name is Alexis Ree, if she had longer lines and we had more time to adjust to her unique accent and pronunciation, we would have understood her just fine, right? Without much trouble. But in the movie, she only had 3 very short lines to say, also quite quickly, so we didn't have time to properly warm up to her pronunciation. So now let's break down each line together.
소피아 아줌마 얼굴 보니 좋네요.
소피아 아줌마, 얼굴 보니 좋네요. Good to see you or your face. In Korean, we say 얼굴 보다, like it's good to see your face. And you might already be familiar with the term 아줌마, addressing a middle-aged woman who is in their, I guess, 40s or 60s. Calling that person an 아줌마 is becoming less and less common in Korea because it's not the biggest feel-good kind of compliment. Nobody's happy to be called an 아줌마, so to speak. So be careful not to call someone 아줌마 or 아저씨 if it's a man, me, too easily, okay? It's a correct term, but just be careful. But in this particular scene, the way she's dressed, it looks like a typical marketplace 아줌마. So in this scene, it works. It's fine. But Nakia's pronunciation of the word 아줌마 sounded a bit more like 아주마 instead of 아줌마, missing the last consonant in the second syllable. 아주마 versus 아줌마. 아줌마 is the correct version. And that's actually a really common mistake learners make because maybe if they speak English as their mother tongue, for example, the word summer, S-U-M-M-E-R, has 2 M's, but you say it more softly like summer and not summer, right? So in Korean, you have to say 아줌마, not 아주마. Similar mistakes can be saying 엄마 instead of 엄마 or 몸무게, body weight, instead of 몸무게. So make sure you say the mium twice. But with more practice, you will sound, of course, more natural.
이 2명은 누구야?
Now, finally, moving on to the market ladies line. 이 2명은 누구야? I think this line sounded okay, sounded great, okay? The pronunciation, accent was great. But the sentence itself was something that not a lot of native speakers would say in this kind of situation or even at all. I guess it was just a direct translation of who are these 2? So in the updated version with a new voiceover, the line was changed in the movie to 얘들은 또 누구야? 얘들은 또 누구야?
이 2명은 누구야?
얘들은 또 누구야?
Which sounds really natural. 얘들 is short for 이 아이들, these kids or these fellas. And 또 is again, but here it's more like again, you brought new people again. Now what? Who are they?
나이로비에서 온 친구들이 부자예요.
And next we have this line. 나이로비에서 온 친구들이에요. 부자예요. I heard this line in the theater first on the day of the release of the movie. I actually went the day of the release date. The 이에요 part sounded really weak to me, so I thought she said this instead. 나이로비에서 온 친구들이 부자예요.
나이로비에서 온 친구들이 부자예요.
Which is grammatically okay too. So to break it down really quickly, 나이로비에서 온, that or who came from Nairobi, 친구, friend, 친구들, friends, plural, 친구들이에요, they are friends. And then 부자 is a rich person, 부자예요, he is, she is, or they are rich. She's emphasizing that they're rich people so that the lady will let them in. And then she adds, 좋은 분들이에요.
좋은 분들이에요.
This sentence itself is understandable, but it doesn't flow naturally from the previous sentences because she just called them 나이로비에서 온 친구들, my friends, my fellows from Nairobi. But then all of a sudden, 좋은 분들, there's a huge gap because 분 is used to address someone with a lot of respect and formality. So she could have also just said 좋은 친구들이에요, they're good friends. But the thing is, good doesn't always translate to 좋은. They're good means they are reliable, they can be trusted and let into the casino, as in you can trust them and let them enter the casino. But just saying 좋은 분들이에요 or more naturally 좋은 친구들이에요 in Korean simply sounds like they're nice people, they're my good friends, right? It doesn't have a logical connection to, you can, they're fine, you can let them in. And then the Korean lady says this line, this is the most important line in this clip, in this whole video.
사고치기 좋아하는 애들이라고. 너같이?
사고치기 좋아하는 애들이라고 너같이. Look at the translation too. And she says it really fast without much rhythm, and her intonation is more dramatic and dynamic than what would sound natural in Korean. You can tell if you compare it to the redubbed version.
사고치기 좋아하는 애들이라고. 너같이?
사고치기 좋아하는 애들이라고? 너처럼?
But more than that, this line itself felt really random and disconnected from the previous one, right? So it's not something that the audience is expecting, and here's probably why. If you look at the English translation, the writers intentionally used a pun, I think, for a sarcastic tease. Like the previous line is, they're good. And then the lady says, good for what? Good for trouble, like you? But it seems the original lines were written in English first and then everything was translated into Korean because the corresponding Korean lines don't quite connect with each other at all. 좋은 분들이에요? 사고치기 좋아하는 애들이라고? They used maybe, it's my guess, 좋은 and then 좋아하는 kind of to recreate the pun, but those are just two completely different words in Korean, like to be good and to like something, although it shares the 좋다 or 좋아 part. 사고 here originally means accident, but in this fixed expression 사고를 치다, it means to cause trouble. And if you use the verb 내다 and say 사고를 내다, it means to cause an accident, usually a car accident. So to Korean speakers, the exchange sounds a little like this. They're nice people. You mean they like to cause trouble? Which can be a little bit confusing, right? So all in all, I think the combination and contrast actually of the excitement about Busan being so well depicted in the movie and then the surprise element of, why am I not understanding these Korean lines? I'm Korean, is what made this part of the movie so famous among Korean viewers. It was even used as a Korean listening quiz for Korean celebrities on a variety show once.
너같이?
들어주세요. 친구들이 부자야? 너 이거 맞으면 범인이야.
And there were also some other short scenes in the movie where you could hear Korean being spoken, but they were soon forgotten because of the massive impact that the marketplace scene had. So let's watch them together really quickly. So this is inside the casino hidden in the market.
여기요. 위스키 한 잔 주세요.
네.
여기요, 위스키 한 잔 주세요. 네. The exchange sounded really good. Nothing to comment here. And then the staff says when Black Panther arrives at a table or at the bar,
여기 있습니다.
여기 있습니다. Like really quickly, 여기 있습니다, which is short for 여기 있습니다. Here it is, here you go, here they are. Probably referring to the casino chips that he's handing to Black Panther later. But the audio clip was added right as he was greeting Black Panther, not when he's handing over the chips. So it sounded wrong. Like it sounded like it was added at the wrong spot. He should have just said 안녕하세요. 안녕하세요. Hello. Instead of here it is. Here they are. Here you are. And finally, in the interrogation room,
저기가 어디야?
뒤에 있어요.
Nakia says, 저기가 어디야? Like referring to this footage on the screen, right? Where is that? Where is that place? Where is that happening? That sounded quite natural to me. And then the other person says, 뒤에 있어요. In Korean, 뒤에 있어요, which was translated to back there. But in this context, they meant the spot that you are seeing or the spot that the camera is filming right now is back there, behind that wall, over there. So in this case, it's more natural to say 여기 뒤요, it's back here, or it's behind this place, or 저기 뒤요, if it's over there, back there. The original line, 뒤에 있어요, it only sounds like, oh, you will find it behind there. It's behind something. So to me, it wasn't the most natural line. All right, so what do you think about the mini Korean lessons we prepared for you in this video? If you are working in Hollywood, if you are planning to work on a film as a director or an actor, you need to talk to me. I highly recommend that you contact us. We'll help you make everything sound natural, flow naturally in Korean if you want to feature the Korean language in your next work. All right? And I was really surprised and happy to see so many of you recommend other movies in the comments under our Lost video. I hope you enjoyed watching this one as well. And in our next video, we'll talk about Jim Carrey's Korean lines in Yes Man. This line is quite long, so how did he manage it? Make sure to subscribe so you don't miss it. And if you have only been enjoying Korean content for fun, I really encourage you to start learning Korean for real. Once you understand more Korean, you will start to see all the cultural nuances and hidden meanings behind Korean media, and the Korean content that you watch will become much more enjoyable and meaningful. Thank you so much for watching and studying Korean with us at Talk to Me in Korean. Open the description to see all the necessary links, and we'll be there to help you out with your Korean learning journey. I will see you again next time. 감사합니다. Bye.